A lot of anti-gun people like to say that weapons don't do anything good, or only focus on guns when they go bang and someone gets shot. Here's the deal. There are weapons sitting around not doing anything that deter crime every single day. On hips and in cars. Those guns cause criminals to think twice. When the police, security, or citizens have guns, criminals become far more cautious, and that's a fact. Let's face it, every day there is a weapon somewhere that is protecting you whether you know it or not. You walk down a crowded street on the way to work and say to yourself, why do I need a gun? It seems safe enough to me. What you haven't considered is that there are AR-15s, shotguns, and pistols all around you that deter crime and violence every day. In squad cars, in police officers' hands, and concealed on armed citizens. The presence of weapons alone can stop crime. And when you take them away, the bad guys have the upper hand. Let's take Chicago, for example. It has some of the strictest gun laws in the country, and the crime is through the roof. I'm not saying that Chicago's crime problem only exists because of its gun laws, but make no mistake, those laws have a serious effect on what the average law-abiding person in that city is doing to protect themselves and their family. I'm not from Texas, but it's just known, don't go breaking into someone's house in Texas, because most likely they're gonna have a gun. That's a culture thing, and it comes with a certain level of respect. If you take a big city in Texas like Houston and compare it to Chicago, the stats tell the story. We already know about the murder rate in Chicago, but let's talk about the robberies. The difference between a robbery and a burglary is that a robbery is a violent crime against an individual. So it makes sense that those criminals are not gonna rob a guy with a gun. And guess what? Not only are you 57% more likely to be murdered in Chicago than you are in Houston, you're 72% more likely to be robbed. 72%. And there's one clear difference between those cities. In Chicago, the criminals know you're not allowed to have a gun. A lot of good people either aren't willing or aren't capable of thinking like a criminal. They don't realize that for these guys, crime is just a job. It's how they pay the bills. They don't want to take the risks that they don't have to. And for them, every gun in the hands of a good guy, whether it's a police officer or a citizen, is a risk that they don't want to take. Those guns that you never see or think about behind locked doors and concealed in purses and under jackets make you safer. You'll never hear it in the media because for them, if no one gets shot, it's not a story. But it's not like there aren't criminals in Houston. They just don't like taking chances to put their lives at risk. That's the power of the Second Amendment.